Okay, peeps, I am back, and I'm gonna try to break this down for you. If you think it bothers me, so be it. Your choice. I'm not asking people to give me their life story. It's not my business. I don't know you like that. I'm not trying to get to know you like that. I've had a lot of comments about sovereign citizen, traveling, interstate commerce, statutes that the police enforce. When I say a cop lover, that's a broad statement. If you want to personalize that, that's on you. Okay? Now, I had a comment about the police enforcing statutes, which make it law. That's untrue. You can't create a secondary law that diminishes or infringes your natural rights. You can't do it. You can't, not even though your natural rights, but your Constitution, your Bill of Rights. Listen, any state that you look at probably got Constitution 6, 7, Constitution 8. They keep adding on to the Constitution. Excuse me. Onto the Constitution. Keep on adding on to it. But and they're supposed to make it better. But while they're adding on to it, they can never take away from what was. Ever can they do that. They cannot take away from what was before they add it on. They can't diminish or infringe what already was. Okay, that's how the law works. Now, people keep on getting on here and saying you don't have a right to travel, it's a privilege, you need a license. You're right. Driving is a privilege, but driving is interstate commerce. The Supreme Court has ruled and defined what interstate commerce is, what traveling is, what an automobile is, what a motor vehicle is. Now, the United States Supreme Court has ruled what these things are and what the definition of these things are and how they apply to the law. When the Supreme Court makes a ruling, United States Supreme Court makes a ruling, that ruling stands as law in the United States. No matter if you're in California or if you're all the way in Maine. If you're all the way up to Washington, all the way in the corner of Florida. It all applies. It is law. Once the United States Supreme Court makes a ruling on a wow, I'm so frustrated about what's going on. I can't even talk half the time because of these uneducated people about the law. Now, by far, am I educated? I ain't Perry Mason, the lawyer. I ain't none of that. I'm just a citizen trying to protect his constitutional rights. So when the Supreme Court makes a ruling on a constitutionality, that's how it's pronounced, uh, it's set in law, you know? And then it's been a long day, folks. It's been a long, long day. Mentally long. Not physically, but mentally. I ain't here to give you advice. All I'm doing is giving education. All I'm doing is citing cases that are fact, that allow you to do what you're doing, or anybody who wants to travel. You know, I don't know. This person made a comment, and the page was like 3 pages. I feel for your loss. I think everybody in this world has lost somebody, one way or another, whether it be by traffic, by bike, it happens, and my heart goes out to you. I feel for you, okay? I really do. But don't try to incorporate traveling with interstate commerce and somebody exercising their rights and being reckless on a highway. Why can't an individual exercise those rights and travel on a public highway doing his personal agenda? Okay? If he's riding in a reckless manner, then he can be charged for that. He can be pulled over by the police. Now, just because you're acting in a traveling form doesn't mean you can run stop signs and you can run red lights and you don't have to obey nothing. No, that's not the case. There's a law set in place for that. No, if you're acting in a reckless manner on a public highway, the police can pull you over and cite you. Okay? Those are one of the clauses into your travels. You don't need a license to be a traveler. It's as simple as that. The United States Supreme Court has spoken. So all you player haters that think you know and want to try to belittle my knowledge on traveling, it's not happening. Okay, you can try, but the fact of the matter is I just got $980 dismissed the other day by the state's attorney. They've been putting me through the ringer for 4 or 5 months over this, and they dismissed it. Now they never heard the motion. They didn't want the motion being placed on the desk. They're trying to say that the motion that I filed is automatically moot now because the judge didn't hear it. The motion's not moot because you filed. Case ain't this, they dismissed the case. They dismissed every single charge. And they stated they dismissed it. But they never said why. They just dismissed it. So, anybody knows anything about the corporation, the state, and the state's attorney and whatnot, it's all about this. It's all about the bread. And you think they want to just shoot away $1,000 that they can extort from somebody? No, they ain't just shooting $1,000. Would you shoot $1,000 away if you know you could get it legally? No, you wouldn't. So why did they with me? Why did they dismiss 4 charges, or not 4 charges, but 4 traffic violations supposedly? Um, Total $980, but they dismissed it. Come on, folks, open up your head. Start using that brain for something. If you want to get a license and you want to act in interstate commerce or believe that that's what you need to do to travel on a public highway, and I don't understand what people don't get with public. If they pass a statute saying that you need a license now to go to a public park and walk your dog or take your cat out for those who do, or dogs, or just take your loved ones or your children to a public park. But they say you can't do that unless you pay us a license and a fee, or pay us a fee to get a license to be able to go in that park. Even though it's public park, you know you have every right to be there. Well, it ain't no different with traveling on a public highway in an automobile behind a wheel. The Supreme Court of the United States has spoken and has made a decision in the favor of the citizens under the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. That's what they do. So when they make a ruling, it's set in stone. It doesn't get changed. So when you get on here and you mislead people to the truth, that's crazy. Yeah, the police protect statutes that they create, but the police department is a political entity. And right in the Constitution, it specifically says that a police officer or that department or government, and they're part of the government, uh, have to act within the boundaries of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. So that means what it says in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is what they have to do. And if they don't do that, they violate your due process. And by violating your due process, it makes everything moot. Means they instantly, and I mean instantly, lose jurisdiction over the person. And once you lose jurisdiction over the person, you can't do nothing to consequence him. Now, I know a lot of people want to think they're intelligent in the law and want to believe what they're told by the cops and the state's attorney and want to believe in their statutes. And you know what? Certain statutes are good. Certain. Oh, I got disconnected here for a second. But certain statutes are good and certain statutes aren't. I'm not anti-cop. I have no ill intent. I'm a nonviolent person. I'm too old for that now. I don't want to have complications just because I'm exercising my constitutional rights. Now y'all think I'm a crackpot, but I'm just about done my 42 1983 civil suit, class action at that, uh, against the police station for violating my constitutional rights and my Bill of Rights, detaining me unlawfully, impeding my right to movement, my right to freedom of movement. You impeded, and you had no lawful cause to do so. None. When they don't have when you go to court and you lose, you pay. Well, when they lose under the Constitution, they have to pay now. I got to write up an order for my legal fees and my time. And that's how it works, peeps. I mean, y'all keep on making comments, and I get off on it. I enjoy doing this kind of thing. Get a life, anyways. I'm homeless. I live out of a freaking car, or my automobile, to be politically correct. I live out of my automobile, so it don't really make too much of a mind to me. All I'm trying to do now at my older ages is trying to enjoy life. I make these videos because you know what? I enjoy it. I get off on it. So whatever. Yep, I sure do. And I'll continue to make comments on comments and continue to make videos on videos because the fact of the matter is I am legally right. No matter what you think, say, write, type, there's only one person that came closest to the law. Well, was actually pretty much on the law, but they didn't realize that statutes don't overweigh the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights. So it's as simple as that. Hey, enjoy. You want to be a player hater? You want to be extorted for revenue and everything else? It's on you, man. All I'm here to do is try to open up the American citizens' eyes and make them realize that, you know what? This dude might be right. This dude may have something going on here. I mean, he's citing cases and there's old cases. You can research it, look it up online. Any case that I have cited, you can just punch it right up on Google and it'll pop right up and read it. U.S. Supreme Court, you don't even have to go down to the law library anymore and get out them big fat books. And Judah, boy, I can't even say that word unless I have it right in front of me. College words are just not my thing. I'll have to repeat and repeat and repeat. But that's part of learning and living, you know? Unfortunately, I didn't get the education I think I deserved, but you know what? I'm not doing too bad these days. So now, the outcome of all this, and I'm going to keep everybody posted because I'm going to laugh. Remember, I said this, peeps, for all you player haters. I am going to laugh right in your face by way of YouTube when I win my federal lawsuit for them violating my constitutional rights and Bill of and Bill of Rights. It's as simple as that. You know the law. It's just saying you can't just pick one piece of the law apart and say, well, because it's statute and the cops uphold statute, that makes it law. You know, eh, doesn't work that way, peeps. On certain things, it does. But if any statute that they create is contrary to the existing rights you're already guaranteed, which would be the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, you really should read it. Uh, it's notwithstanding. Legally, it's notwithstanding. And automatically, your due process gets violated because of that. Once your due process is violated, they automatically, by law, lose jurisdiction over the person. Therefore, you cannot. That means you are immune to prosecution.